So you traveled everywhere?
Well, not everywhere.
Oh, like you travel a lot of places?
A few places, yeah.
Okay.
I travel all over Southeast Asia. I lived there as a sort of resident for like 9 years. I come here like for 3 or 4 months a year. And I've been to Burma. I still call it Burma. My Burmese friend calls it Burma. Laos, Singapore, Thailand.
There are no gadgets that impress you right now?
There are a few gadgets that impress me. Some high tech gadgets that I've seen. I'm a scuba diver, so
Scuba diver?
Yeah.
You're a second scuba diver in the last 2 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was there a scuba diver came in?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, I was looking at this technology that they developed this chemical combination that they put on a helmet, and it actually generates air, so you don't have to wear a tank.
Really?
That's out of Star Wars,
How long does it last for?
I don't know. I was just a thing on YouTube. There was this show they were showing, this scuba diving show. Like just have computer shows all over the place. They have scuba diving shows,
Yeah.
and this guy was showing this new innovative helmet that and I personally bought this really unique.
Did you buy it?
Pardon?
Did you buy a helmet?
No, I mean that thing is probably in the development stage. He's talking to some guy. You haven't seen movies of people using it or anything, but it's a serious thing because I guess it works, but they can't put it on the market at this point. But I mean, they're that close,
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a helmet that you could breathe underwater. I guess it creates air.
And no, there's a chemical mixture that they enable in some ways.
Wow.
And it generates air that you can breathe.
It's pretty cool.
And I bought these shark skin. You have to wear a wetsuit underwater, and the warmer it is, the wetsuit, the thicker it has to be. But they developed this 3-ply material called shark skin, and they developed it in Australia. And I bought 2 pieces of a pant and top set.
Yeah.
To try because I dive in colder climates from time to time, and it gets colder. And
like how cold?
It could get to I go to maybe 65 degrees max. I do dry suit too, which is, if you know what dry suit is, it's like, you're like encapsulated inside the suit itself.
Okay.
And you have like underwear. It's like special underwear. It keeps you warm. Okay. And that's meant for people who go under the ice and so that type of thing.
Wow.
But I don't do that type of thing. So I just mess around and stay in the warm water. Better for me. I've got what you call a semi-dry suit, which is like a suit that has a dry suit zipper, so you can kind of keep it dry on the inside. I've done it with 65-degree temperatures. I wouldn't stay down too long.
No? What's the longest you've been down there?
Under those temperatures?
Yeah.
Oh, 20 minutes tops.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too freaking cold.
Have you seen like any big animals out there? Anything?
Well, I was in Beaufort, North Carolina last year. They do the wrecks. There's wrecks all around that area.
Really?
Yeah, if you go 150 feet, 100. I mean,
So you've seen some wrecks?
Yeah, I saw 3 or 4 wrecks.
They have
old Nazi U-boats that came that close to the United States.
Really?
Way back when, and you can actually, if the weather is right, you can go there and dive. So.
So they got pretty close.
Oh yeah, there are hundreds of ships out there. There's a history of shipwrecks, and that's part of America. And it's a big thing. People go out there.
How many people died in a shipwreck?
Varies from shipwreck to shipwreck, I would suppose. And some people were simply rescued, and they just,
really
at the bottom there.
I didn't know this.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
There's a whole.
So there was a Nazi shipwreck.
Yeah. Honest to God, yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, Beaufort, North Carolina shipwrecks. Scuba diving.
Could you? Is there any names of any shipwrecks that were from Nazi that were close to America?
Yes, there are notable shipwrecks near Beaufort, North Carolina, involving Nazi U-boats. One of the most famous is the U-352, a German submarine that was sunk by the Coast Guard cutter Icarus on May 9, 1942. This wreck lies about 110 feet below the surface and is a popular dive site today. Another significant wreck is the W.E. Hutton, also known as the Paphos, which was sunk by the German U-boat U-124 on March 19, 1942. Hutton was a petroleum tanker attacked off Cape Lookout near Beaufort. These sites are part of what is referred to as Torpedo Alley, an area off the coast of North Carolina where many ships were sunk by German U-boats during World War II.
So were the Nazis going to invade America?
During World War II, there were no serious plans or attempts by Nazi Germany to invade mainland America. The Nazi strategy was more focused on disrupting Allied supply lines across the Atlantic rather than mounting a full-scale invasion of the United States. The U-boat attacks along the East Coast, including the shipwrecks near Beaufort, North Carolina, were part of Germany's strategy to cripple the supply routes and create chaos in Allied shipping lanes. This approach aimed to weaken the Allies by targeting merchant ships and tankers, making it harder for the U.S. and its allies to transport essential goods and materials. While the presence of German U-boats off the American coast was alarming and caused significant losses, there were no realistic plans for an actual invasion of American territory. The primary goal of these operations was to disrupt and damage the Allied war effort, not to occupy or invade the United States.
Interesting.
Interesting, right? That's very interesting. Never knew that.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I went down 120 feet and we swam around there because it attracts a lot of sea life,
Yep.
sharks and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So have you gotten close to any sharks?
Very close. Went down to Jamaica. All the wrecks, that whole area off the Atlantic is like shark. It's infested by sharks. You got these huge mako sharks, and they're like from here to about there.
Oh shit!
And you drop down, and because there's other fish and marine life swimming around, and so you drop down. So you don't pay them no attention. They don't pay attention to you because they're busy, hunting these other. But they're big, fearsome creatures, and you're like, are you 2 feet away from me?
Wow, that sounds like an incredible experience. Swimming so close to sharks and exploring those historic wrecks must be thrilling.
Wow.
Sharks are indeed fascinating creatures, and it's amazing that they're often found around these wreck sites, likely because of the rich marine life that gathers there. Diving among such large mackerel sharks and other species must be both awe-inspiring and a bit nerve-wracking.
Right.
It's good to know that they generally ignore divers, being more interested in their natural prey. Being just a couple of feet away from these big, fearsome creatures certainly adds an extra layer of excitement to the dive.
Right.
It's incredible how these underwater environments allow for such close encounters with marine life. Have you had any other memorable diving experiences?
I got quite a few of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fantastic. Diving often brings about unique and unforgettable experiences.
Yeah.
What was another memorable dive you had? Was it another shipwreck or perhaps an encounter?
Valley. I dove in all over Southeast Asia. I dove in Borneo and Kota Kinabalu. I dove in the Philippines, in Bohol. I dove in Mexico, in the cenotes.
You've had some incredible diving adventures across Southeast Asia. Bali, Borneo, and the Philippines are renowned for their stunning underwater landscapes and rich marine biodiversity. Diving in Bali, for instance, offers everything from shipwrecks like the USS Liberty to vibrant coral reefs teeming with marine life. In Borneo, places like Sipadan are famous for their pristine waters and diverse sea creatures, including turtles, barracudas, and even hammerhead sharks. The Philippines, especially in areas like Palawan and the Tabataha Reefs, is a diver's paradise with its clear waters, abundant coral gardens, and a variety of fish species. Each of these locations has its unique charm and underwater wonders. Which of these dives stood out the most to you, and why?
Bohol, Philippines, the coral and the whale sharks.
Whale
That
sharks.
sounds absolutely breathtaking. The Philippines is indeed famous for its spectacular coral reefs and the opportunity to swim with whale sharks. The coral gardens there are some of the most diverse and vibrant in the world, home to countless species of fish and other marine life. Swimming with whale sharks, the gentle giants of the ocean, must be an awe-inspiring experience. These encounters are often serene, allowing divers to appreciate the sheer size and grace of these magnificent creatures up close. What was it like to dive with whale sharks? Did you get to see them up close for a long time?
They come right to the surface to catch the plankton, and the planktons are bouncing all over the place because that's what they live on. They have their big jaws open, They're the size. You know what a Mack truck is?
Yeah.
They're the size of a friggin' Mack truck.
Wow.
And this was in Borneo, and all the divers, they just suddenly came out because they swam around in the group, all jump in the water, and which they should be doing. But they're the massive things. They don't even, you got to be careful. I mean, I kind of swam up to one, touched it, and just went back into the boat. I was like, I'm not that gonzo about it. Some of these Asian guys, they're really into it, and they're great swimmers, and I'm not a great swimmer.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's like,
but they don't mess with humans, do they?
oh no. They're gentle animals.
Wow.
They live off that plankton and stuff.
Wow.
But I mean,
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, I was fortunate that way because when I tell a lot of other divers I did that.
That sounds absolutely incredible. Seeing whale sharks up close must be an unforgettable experience. Their size and gentle nature make them such fascinating creatures. It's amazing how they filter feed on plankton right at the surface, with their massive jaws open wide, almost like a Mack truck moving through the water. It's good to hear that they are gentle giants and don't pose a threat to humans. It must have been exhilarating to touch one and be so close to such a magnificent animal. Even if you're not the strongest swimmer, just being in the presence of these creatures is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The excitement and rush of all the divers jumping into the water to see the whale sharks must have added to the thrill. It's important to respect their space, but having that moment to interact with them in their natural habitat is truly special. Have you had any other close encounters with marine life during your dives?
When I was in Koto Kanabalu, which is just off of Borneo, well, it's part of Borneo, there's this cuttlefish. If you know what a cuttlefish is.
No.
I honest to God, I thought this thing was a mechanical thing. It is alive. And it was doing every pastel neon color you can imagine. I wasn't high on drugs. I couldn't believe this thing. We were like 40 or 50 feet underwater. And this thing was like changing color. Like,
that must have been an astonishing sight. Fish are known for their incredible ability to change colors and patterns, thanks to specialized skin cells called chromatophores, iridophores, and leucophores. These cells allow them to blend into their surroundings or communicate with other cuttlefish. The way they can rapidly switch between different colors and patterns, often displaying vibrant neon hues, is truly mesmerizing and can look almost otherworldly. Seeing one in its natural habitat, especially underwater, must have felt surreal. Their color-changing ability is not only for camouflage. It's like witnessing a living light show. Being 40 or 50 feet underwater and encountering such a spectacle would indeed make anyone question if it's real or some kind of mechanical marvel. Your experience sounds like a perfect example of how fascinating and diverse marine life can be. Have you encountered any other interesting sea creatures during your dives?
white-tip sharks, dark-tip sharks, turtles the size of Volkswagens.
Really?
Literally.
I have to look up
That sounds like an
cuttlefish.
incredible array of marine life encounters. Seeing white-tip and black-tip sharks up close must be thrilling. Both species are known for their distinctive markings and are quite common in the tropical and subtropical waters of Southeast Asia. They are generally curious, but not aggressive towards divers, making them fascinating subjects to observe. And turtles the size of both wagons? That's amazing. Sea turtles, particularly green and leatherback turtles, can grow to impressive sizes. These gentle giants are often seen in the waters around places like Borneo and the Philippines, where they come to feed and sometimes nest. Encountering such massive and ancient creatures must be awe-inspiring. These experiences highlight the incredible diversity and richness of marine life in the region. Each dive must feel like an adventure, with new and wondrous sights to behold. Have any of these encounters inspired you to learn more about marine biology or conservation efforts?
To become a marine biologist.
What?
I really should have.
It's never too late to pursue a passion, and your experiences and fascination with marine life suggest you would have made a fantastic marine biologist. Your diving adventures and close encounters with various marine species have given you a unique perspective and appreciation for the ocean's wonders. While becoming a marine biologist traditionally involves academic study and research, there are many ways you can still engage with and contribute to marine science and conservation. Volunteering with marine conservation organizations, participating in citizen science projects, or even sharing your knowledge and passion, talks or writing can make a significant impact. Your firsthand experiences and stories can inspire others to appreciate and protect our oceans. Whether it's through formal education or personal involvement, there are many paths to making a difference in the field of marine biology. Have you considered any ways to get involved in marine conservation or education?
I gotta get this. FastFix.